and charge the battery. Charging works independently of the main switch. Just something to keep in mind so you don't get confused when testing everything later. Alright, now I'm going to connect these 3 battery cells together in series. Each cell right. Hey guys! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to make something really useful and fun, a DIY battery pack that can store power. It's super handy. You can use it to power a small electric fan on a hot day, or even charge up your phone when you're on the go. Super convenient, right? So, let's get started and I'll walk you through the whole process. And first things first, we're gonna need to prepare a few things. Right here, I've got a 3D printed case that I just designed on the computer and printed out. It's made to fit standard battery sizes perfectly, so everything fits nice and snug. I also have a few extra modules we'll be using, like this battery level display. Everything's looking perfect so far. Now let's move on to the next step. I'm going to be using 3 battery cells, alright guys? Each one is 3.7 volts, and we're going to wire them up in series to get a higher total voltage. You see that? Looks pretty spot on, right? And now, we'll just hook up a balancing board, this little circuit here, which will help keep the voltage across all the cells nice and even while we're using it. Super important for safety and efficiency. Alright, moving on, what do we have here? This is a USB 3.0 charging module, and trust me, this thing is awesome. It's not just your average USB port, this one supports fast charging and even ultra-fast charging for modern smartphones. So if you're ever in a rush and your phone's about to die, this little module can save the day. Pretty handy, right? Now take a look at this. We've also got a simple little power switch. But don't let its size fool you, this guy plays an important role. It acts as the main power gate for the whole system. When you flip it on, it activates everything: the battery level indicator, the USB charger, all the connected components. It's kind of like the master key that brings the whole project to life. Without it, nothing works. So yeah, a tiny switch, but a big deal. Next up, I'm going to add a 5.5mm DC jack, this little port right here. It might look simple, but it's actually pretty powerful. This jack will allow us to charge the entire battery pack externally, and yes, it also supports fast charging. So instead of waiting forever to charge those 3 cells, we can juice them up much quicker through this port. It connects directly to the balancing board we installed earlier, so it charges all 3 cells evenly and safely. Super useful if you're planning to use this battery pack often. Just plug it in, and you're good to go. No need to open anything up or mess with wires. Alright, now it's time to start soldering everything together, folks. As you can see, all the modules are already fitted in nicely. Everything lines up just the way it should. So now we're gonna get into the soldering part. Let's make it all come to life. And hey, quick heads up, this is my little workspace here. And yeah, it's a bit of a mess at the moment. I know. But please bear with me, I've been juggling a ton of different projects lately, so things kinda exploded all over the table. It's all part of the DIY chaos, right? Appreciate your understanding, my friends. Now, before we do any final wiring, I'm gonna test this battery indicator, this little display here. When we wire our 3 battery cells in series, we're gonna get a total voltage of just over 12 volts. So let's see how this thing reacts. Right now, I'm gonna simulate a low battery condition, just for demo purposes. Watch closely as the voltage drops. You'll see the bars on the display go down too. And here it is with the voltage around 10.83 volts, the indicator drops to just 2 bars. That means we've got about 50% battery left. Pretty neat, huh? Super helpful to keep an eye on your battery level while using the power bank. Alright, let's keep going and try lowering the voltage even more. Let's see what happens next, guys. And there it is. The display just turned red. That means we're hitting a critical voltage level. This is the danger zone. Folks, when your battery indicator turns red like this, it's a clear sign that the battery needs to be recharged immediately. No more waiting around. Let me explain real quick. These lithium cells don't like being discharged too deeply. If you keep using them when the voltage drops to low, it can seriously damage their ability to store energy in the future. That means shorter battery life, reduced capacity, and just overall worse performance. So whenever you see that red warning, don't ignore it. Plug the battery in and charge it right away. Okay, guys? Save your cells before it's too late. Alright, check this out. I've got 3 5.5mm DC jacks installed right here. Let me break it down for you guys. The first jack is our input. It's used for fast charging the 3-cell battery pack. Super convenient when you want to juice up the whole thing quickly without opening anything up. Now, the other 2 jacks? Those are outputs. Yep, we've got 2 12 volts output ports that you can use to power all kinds of DC devices like LED lights, small fans, routers, or anything that runs on 12 volts. Having 2 output jacks just gives you more flexibility. You could be charging your phone and running a fan at the same time, all off this DIY power bank. Pretty cool, right? Functional and practical, just the way we like it. Alright guys, so I've finished connecting all the wires. Everything's all hooked up now. I know, it might look like a mess with all these wires going everywhere, but trust me, it's actually super simple. Each module just needs 2 wires, one positive and one negative. That's it. All we're doing is wiring them in parallel and routing everything through a single power switch. Once that's done, boom, we're good to go. Oh, and here's a quick but super important note. The 5.5mm DC jack that we use to charge the battery, that one doesn't go through the power switch. Nope, it connects directly to the battery through the balancing board. So what does that mean? It means that even if the power switch is turned off, you can still plug in your charger and charge the battery. Charging works independently of the main switch. Just something to keep in mind so you don't get confused when testing everything later. Alright, now I'm going to connect these 3 battery cells together in series. Each cell right now is sitting at about 3.17 volts, and when we wire them in series, the voltage is up. So once everything is connected properly, the total voltage across the pack will be just over 12 volts when fully charged. Perfect for powering 12 volts devices and running our modules smoothly. Let's go ahead and make those connections. Now it's time to connect the voltage balancing board to the battery cells. This little circuit is super important, guys. It makes sure each cell charges and discharges evenly, which helps extend the life of the battery and keeps everything safe. But here's the deal, you really have to be careful with how you connect it. The wiring has to be absolutely correct. Every single wire from the balancing board has to go to the right spot on the battery pack. If you make a mistake like connecting the wires in the wrong order or reversing the polarity, you could instantly damage the board, or even worse, destroy the entire battery setup. So take your time here, double check every connection, and make sure it's 100% accurate before powering anything up. Alright, now I'm going to add an insulating layer right here. This is super important. It's going to separate the balancing board from the rest of the circuitry above it, and that helps prevent any chance of a short circuit. Safety first, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and put everything back together now. Wow, press it down firmly. There we go. Nice and snug. All the connections are solid, everything's holding tight. And just like that, we've got ourselves a compact, solid battery block neatly packed and ready to go. It delivers over 12 volts, which makes it perfect for all sorts of devices like 12 volts electric fans, or even powering Wi-Fi modules during power outages. Super handy to have around, especially in those emergency moments. Alright folks, everything's coming together perfectly now. For this final step, I'm going to wrap a strip of fiberglass reinforced tape around the edge here just to tie everything together and give it that clean, finished look. This type of tape is super strong and durable, and it helps secure the 2 parts of the battery module so they stay firmly connected. Plus, it gives the whole thing a more polished, seamless feel, like it was professionally made. And there we go, nice and tight, everything's held together beautifully. This little finishing touch not only adds strength, but also gives the whole setup a much more satisfying look. Next up, I'm going to add a small piece of synthetic leather to the bottom of the pack just to give it a soft touch. This little detail helps cushion it whenever you place it down or pick it up, and it adds a bit of a premium feel too. Feels nice, looks nice, can't go wrong with that. And now, for the final flourish, I'm going to wrap the entire battery pack with a piece of heat shrink tubing. This will give it a clean, professional-looking finish, and it also helps protect all the internal components from dust, scratches, and moisture. Once we apply a bit of heat and the wrap shrinks into place, the whole thing will look way more polished, like a finished product instead of just a DIY project. Let's do it! Alright guys, and there we have it. Our ultra-compact DIY battery pack is finally complete. This little guy is super portable, easy to carry around, and packed with possibilities. You can use it as a power bank to charge your phone, a 12 volts power supply for small devices, or basically integrate it into any setup where you need a reliable portable power source. Right now, it's showing 3 bars on the battery indicator, so we're good to go. Fully functional, super convenient, and best of all, we built it ourselves. How cool is that? Seriously, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Clean, solid, and super useful. Hope you guys enjoyed this build as much as I did. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, I really appreciate it. Don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. See you in the next one.